Hello and welcome to Steve's Backyard Bonsai. This is actually the third in the series already of me trying to prepare a pot for a Penjing. This is a suburban street and this is my road. The gluing up of the 3 plies went well, but it created a lot of space, and I do not want this stuff to be able to absorb water, so I'm going to have to really waterproof this. And also, it doesn't fit as perfectly as I would have hoped. I've got a nice fit on this side, but on this side it opens out, and you know, that's my own fault. I didn't double check the template, but I'm going to fix that by using some quick weld. Is that what it's called? JB Weld. I'll put some tape on here, some packing tape to make it non-stick. I'll put a very heavy coat of JB Weld on here. After I make the PVC pieces, which I'm going to do today, to support this at the height I want it, I'll put it in place. And to make it easier to put in place, I'm going to make this vertical, check it for level, because I can't seem to check it for level in this plane because it's very hard to do. So if I've got the pot vertical and I'm looking down at it from this side, it might be easier to do all that. So that's what I'm going to do today. If you're bored by this, I don't know how many episodes there's going to be before this looks like something. This is a bonsai channel, and as I've mentioned before, while this isn't bonsai, it is in support of the hobby and certainly in support of this crazy idea I have. All right, let me get started cutting the feet for this. So the other day I mocked up a height that I thought would be good, and I used the 3 sidewalk squares that I'll be using in this project, and the height is very good where that ends up. So I'm going to use whatever measurement this is to make some PVC pieces that will act as a support. They will be adhered onto here before I waterproof this. So I've got a lot of prep work to do just on this road before I can even get started. This will be here permanently and non-removable. The sidewalk squares in the Penjing, you'll be able to move them around any way you want, or the trees will be able to move them around. They're meant to be permanent, but they'll just be sitting on top of whatever substrate is there. So let me get started. I've got a ratcheting PVC pipe cutter, which is really good. I've got some PVC pipe, which is just something I have in my basement. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm adjusting the height of this to be exactly what 3 of these tiles is, or as close as possible. And I'll lock that into place. I'll transfer that onto the square end of this pipe, which is this end. Just need to transfer it into one place. Then I'll cut on that line and I'll make a few copies of that. All right. This is a cool tool. This one I got at Lowe's. It's the Cobalt brand. Very, very sharp and very powerful as a ratcheting tool. So this is the ironwood tools of PVC cutters. Not necessarily cobalt, but this particular type of tool. Definitely, if you get one of these, get the ratcheting type. I inherited my dad's, which is a rigid, which is, you know, a real plumbing tool. And do this slowly. And his is not ratcheting. So I did a test cut with both, and this one comes out pretty square, which is going to be important here. not bad. Let me make a couple more. I like you guys, so I'm gonna cut a lot of this out in editing. But I want you to see what I'm doing. This makes a very sturdy, why is that not ratcheting now? Oh, here we go. This makes a very sturdy platform for anything you might want to elevate in a Penjing. It doesn't have to be solid concrete like some of the ones I've done in the past, which tends to be pretty heavy. And when you get to be a little older, you know, that heavy stuff can be a real burden. All right. They're not going to be perfect, and they're not, but as a 2 or 3 or 4 point point of attachment, and when I put it in place finally, I will do it so if there needs to be any adjustments based on how these are mounted, in other words, I'll use JB Weld also, which would create a nice solid base for this, even if it's not exactly touching the pot base. I grew up in a house where everyone was a plumber. My father, my grandfather, my uncles. But I didn't use much PVC. Everything was copper or iron pipe. So this doesn't flow as easily off my fingertips as cutting a piece of copper pipe would. I'll make 6 of these. I won't use all 6, I'm sure. I'm just trying to be consistent in how I'm doing this. These really have to be as close to perfect as you can get. Or at least that's the way I like to do it. You definitely get better at this the more you do it. I guess that's true with everything. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. That was tricky. Let's give that a try. Let's try something like that. So 2 ends, and I want that support front and back in the middle. That is like perfect. And from this view, you're going to have to trust me that it's pretty open on the right hand side. I don't think you can see that. Let's see if I can. See how open that is? And it's pretty tight all the way here. So I got to fix that. This is as sturdy as can be, and I wanted the height of my curb to be below the lip of the pot, and it is there, and it is there. I'm very happy with that. Road, curb, storm drains, and the planting area will be everything here except the sidewalk and the walkway and the driveway. So there's really not a lot of planting area. That's what I meant when I said this is my crazy idea. Okay, I want to apply packing tape to this whole side because I should be able to take the JB Weld off the packing tape, and then I could peel the packing tape off of here easily. So pardon that noise. If you guys are into this kind of content, please let me know. That's not going to be easy. I got to go from one side, and then I got to try and keep it level. So here we go. Don't tell me it doesn't stick. It sticks. I hope I got good coverage there. A little bit of a bump there. Let's see. Fold that down. That'll stay. I think I got to extend it on that side. Okay. All right, just to explain myself here. I've mounted this vertically. It's pretty well perfect the way it is. Let's have a bigger one back here. Set up on the bottom. Yeah, this is perfect. I don't want to knock it or anything. And I'm going to have to affix these legs on here permanently before I can take on this next operation, which will be to place it here and let gravity help me create that bond, and so that I'm fairly certain that it will be that it won't squeeze out on either end, that it's just going to be a nice relaxed fit, and gravity will help me ensure that. So in order to do this, I'm going to set it back the other way. I'm going to place these where I think they go, but I'm going to put some contact cement on the one side. All right, that is going to be a non-permanent thing, but it will help me locate these things, and I'll know that they land in the right place at the bottom of the pot. Are you guys following along? I hope so. All right, I'm just going to use 2 to start, because I'll just place the other the other 2 or 3 in the middle somewhere, maybe a few of them in the middle. So what I wanted to do was position these where I thought they should go. I'm going to try and get a little contact cement on them. Not a lot, just enough. And I'll hold it in place just long enough for that to dry. I'm going to put the cap. All right, I don't know where I put the cap. I gotta look for that. So I'm happy with the placement of that. It's better that there are 2 points rather than 3 at this point. I'm just going to hold that in place. Reposition these if I need to. And when I lift this up, the goal will be to have those 2 come with me. And there are 2 drainage holes under here still that I want to maintain. And I'll attach these more permanently with an epoxy. We'll leave it for a while. We'll come back to this. In the meantime, I'm going to have lunch. All right, so this is the product I was going to use, the JB Weld. And I still will use this for the bond between this side and the side wall. But I think there is a quicker set JB Weld, quick set. This has a 4 to 6 hour set time. And I think the quick set is much less than that. So I'm going to dip out to Lowe's and purchase the quick set to put these feet on, because they have to be on there permanently. I've marked where they go, and that'll be it for that. All right, I decided to put a microphone on because it's raining and the water is hitting my IBC cube, which I have a cover over, and I put some styrofoam on there to create a surface where water will run off before it was pooling on there, which works real fine. But when the water hits it, when a drop hits it, it's kind of loud. So hopefully all you're hearing is me. I'll just show you the top of my IBC cube right there. You hear that noise? All right, so I got my quick setting JB Weld. This is not it. And I'm going to mix some up and glue these feet on. With this epoxy, you put 2 equal lines and then mix them up. We'll start with the hardener. This cures in 6 minutes as opposed to 6 hours. Sets in 6 minutes, rather. That's enough for the first go around. And try to get an equal, gotta open it up. Try to get an equal amount of the, they call it the steel. I don't know how much steel is in there. It's very hard to judge, but I've never had a problem with JB Weld not mixing well. All right, mix that up. until I get a uniform color, which is gray. And try not to get any on me or on the pot. And the idea will be to do this within the 6-minute time frame. Okay, we'll start with this one. I'm going to put a generous amount here. I want to cover that completely. And press that down and let it cure. Do the same on this side. Push that down. Let it cure. I've got 2 in the middle there. Did I make enough? Yeah, I think I did. And when this cures, I'm not going to adhere it to the pot just yet. Because I need to be able to remove it to waterproof it. I'm just going to hope that works out nice. I'm going to take any excess I have and make a fillet around the outside. That's what we call belts and suspenders. Because whatever happens, you don't want your pants to fall down. I don't have enough to do all of this. This makes it sloppy, but you know what? That doesn't matter. This is all going to be painted black. With Flex Seal. Now what I like to do is leave the stick on there and check it curing. It's very damp today, so I don't know how long this is going to take. But we will see. I'll come back to you when I'm ready to turn it over and work on fitting it in there. It's going to take a lot of JB Weld to make up those spaces. Okay, full disclosure, I had to move these 2 outside ones in a little bit because I forgot that's where my storm drain is going to be cut in, right here. I didn't forget, I didn't think about it. So now I've got to figure out how to move forward. So I got a big gap to fill here. And I'm wondering if I should try and inject something down in there, but how do I keep it from running down all the way? It's very tricky. Very tricky. And this isn't super steady either, and you may not be able to see it, but these middle ones are not even touching, which is fine because I'm going to press it. I'm going to be pressing it into JB Weld. But in the meantime, trying to figure this out. I know I said I would do it vertically. Let me set that up and see if it's any easier. I'm not really leveling it right now. I'm just trying to figure it out. Yeah, this is not going to be easier because I've got to position it properly, and I'm not sure I can do it from here. All right, well, I'll figure something out, and we'll all look at it together.